We want to move to another industry and another union that
Hmm.
is rising up for their rights at work, and that is workers at Waffle House, who are organized with the Union of Southern Service Workers. And we are very, very honored to be joined here on the show by Naomi Harris, who is a Waffle House server from Columbia, South Carolina, and a co-founding member of the Union of Southern Service Workers. Naomi, thank you so much for being with us here on the show.
Hi, thank y'all so much for having me.
Well, we are very, very honored to have you. It was amazing to see the walkout. I have to say, one of my favorite chants right now. Put some respect on my check. But let people know, why did Waffle House workers in Columbia, South Carolina, feel the need to walk off the job in protest, demanding better treatment?
We decided to walk out of Waffle House and go on strike because we were tired of being disrespected on our job. We were tired of not having security available for us during dangerous situations. We're tired of not getting paid enough because service workers minimum wage for us as a tip worker is $2.13, and that's not enough for us to get by. We can't just rely on tips. And we were tired of the dangerous things that we face on our jobs, such as one morning I was working first shift, which is from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. And the guy came in upset about hash browns. And he went outside, grabbed his gun. Another customer went outside and grabbed his
Oh my
gun.
God.
And then they came back inside. And the angry customer was like, I'm either leaving here with my hash browns or my money, but I'm not leaving here without either one of them. And he ended up getting his hash browns because they was done cooking by that time, and he left. And all I could think was I could have just died over hash browns.
Mm.
And
When I think of, oh, sorry, continue.
I was
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I wanted to ask though, like from what you were saying, Waffle House, I'm sure you've seen, became sort of like a meme over the last year, with like these videos going viral of the kind of like the incidences that you're talking about, though I hadn't seen anything quite that disturbing in terms of customers bringing in guns over a hash brown. But of course, people getting into fights and throwing chairs at each other. I even got to the point where SNL, I'm sure you saw, at one point did this like comedy sketch about Waffle House and people fighting
yeah.
at Waffle House, and it became something for people to laugh at. And also, of course, this kind of like, I guess, commentary on American culture. But it's interesting how left out of that is, of course, the fact that there are these workers having to deal with those situations, like people getting into fights and what you described over hash browns, while you're also getting paid so little, have no security. I guess it's more of a comment than a question, but I'm curious, as I'm sure you've seen all these memes as well, what has been the conversation taking place at work when you see those sorts of things online going viral and you're the ones having to actually deal with them?
We don't think it's funny, honestly, and that's what made us push forward to go on strike because it's everybody thinks that's just Waffle House culture, and that's not okay to normalize that type of behavior, especially since it's our lives that's getting put on the line for it, and it's just not okay in any shape, way, or form, and it's not funny. So we decided to go on strike. We've been getting amazing publicity for it. People have been reaching out. We've been going out blitzing to different service industry jobs in Atlanta, North Carolina, and in Columbia. And a lot of people are intrigued by it and they're wanting to know more information to get involved into the union. And we have a mass meeting on July 22nd in Columbia where we're going to have a lot more Waffle House workers coming out to speak about their incidences too, because these demands is going to go on at every single service industry job. It's not just Waffle House.
Well, I'm glad you bring that up, because one of the other issues that I had seen you all raise that just seemed just wild to me is this issue of the shift meals that taken out of your paycheck. So I was hoping you could tell our viewers about that as well.
So Waffle House has a mandatory policy where they take $3 and some change out of our checks every shift that we work. So if I work a lot of doubles. So when I work doubles, every time I clock in and clock back out and I clock back in for my next shift, that $3 some change automatically gets taken out, and there's no way for us to opt in or opt out of it. Out of it. A lot of us don't even really eat Waffle House like that, or just don't even have time to eat because it gets so busy. It's the last thing you have time to do is sit down and eat something. And if we want to take it to go, we have to pay for it full price. So what's the point of having the meal deduction if I'm still gonna have to pay for it full price if I take it home?
Wow, and then there's another issue that's been raised by workers, and that's the fact that the chain is not like repairing things like ACs, which of course, you're in the South, it gets quite hot in the summertime. So I'm just curious, like, what has that experience been for you?
When the AC breaks in Waffle House, it's so hard to work. It was a day I was working, the AC was broke. It was hot. It was like 95 degrees outside. We got busy. The grill gets extremely hot because it's a gas grill, so it gets real hot over there. And then all the people that's in the building that's in there, it's too small of an area with a lot of people. It's just nothing but heat coming from every direction. And I felt myself when I was washing the dishes just start swaying back and forth like I was about to faint. And my coworker ran outside to go throw up from just heat exhaustion.
Wow.
Wow.
And it breaks like on and off. So when Waffle House fixes it, they do a short fix. They don't do a long term fix for it. They just do something for it. They'll hold it for like 1 or 2 days, and then it's right back broken.
I mean, it just, the other factor is, it just seems like there's no way that Waffle House is short of money. I mean, I'm from the South. I spent a lot of time in Waffle House. People are in and out of Waffle House like crazy. So I mean, I mean, I don't know. I wish I had the numbers in front of me, but it seems like it isn't as if they are broke and can't provide these things for y'all.
Waffle House is $1 billion company. Waffle House is all over the South. There's 19 Waffle Houses in the Columbia area alone. Waffle House
Wow.
has more than enough money to pay for us to have security on all shifts and not just on Fridays and Saturdays and Sundays between 2 a.m. to 5 a.m. Waffle House can afford to fix our AC.
There's also the fact that you have this thing called, I mean, when you talk about $1 billion company, and then you look at this wild mandatory meal deduction, can you talk a little bit about that? Because it's also just like the nickel and diming here is insane.
Yeah, so with them being $1 billion company, a lot of that comes from the meal deductions because it's a lot of Waffle House workers, and they take out the $3 and some change out of our checks every shift that we work. And then on top of that, Waffle House charges 20% when you take a to-go order. So Waffle House prices changes every 3 or so months. So like they have way more than enough money to fix the things that we need fixed. They have cooks that wear $3 million club shirts, $2 million club shirts. These people making y'all millions and millions of dollars, and you're not paying us enough. You're not fixing the things that needs to be fixed in the store so that we can run an adequate shift. Everything is just Waffle House just needs to get it together. Like they just don't. They know that they treat their workers horribly, and now we're finally standing up about it and fighting back. And now they're scared because the vice president of Waffle House has sent me and my coworkers that went on strike a text message with a letter on there saying that he hears our demands and he's going to like talk to us more about it in person on how he can help fix our demands, and he sees that it's our right to organize and that they cannot retaliate against us because we are protected.
Well, that's critically important, and the importance of having a union for sure. And one of the things when I was watching the video of the walkout is the energy. I mean, it just comes through, through the screen. I mean, how does it feel to take an action like this? Because I think, a lot of people, it can be scary to take an action at work. But how does it feel when y'all come out in this kind of strength with this kind of energy?
It feels amazing. This was my second time going on strike. And this time it was way better than the last time because I had me and my coworkers and then the Union of Southern Service Workers all out there screaming and chanting for us when we were coming outside. It's amazing to see everybody that works in different service industry jobs come together and all fight together.
Real quick, I want to go back to one issue you mentioned earlier, which is, of course, like because it's a service industry job, you're as like a server, in the US, it's this ridiculous wage that you get like under $3 an hour. So everything's reliant on tips. I just want you to like give us an idea of what people are dealing with in terms of financial insecurity despite working 40-hour work weeks or more.
So by me being a tip worker, my minimum wage is $2.13, and I make just a little bit above that. I make like $2.92 an hour, but it depends on what shift I work, how much I get paid an hour. Because once first, second, and third shift, they get paid. Every shift gets paid differently, and so even though I work like doubles and doubles and doubles, it's like I'm still scraping to get by to the next check because it's just everything has gone up. Inflation, rent is high, water bill is high, everything is high except for our pay. Everything has raised up but our pay, which is why we're holding these corporations accountable and making them putting our foot on their necks to show them, hey, you gotta treat us better if you want us to continue to run your corporation, because they will not have nothing without us workers.
That's 100% true. I always say in these kind of situations when I ask people, I say, well, if your boss doesn't show up to work, do you stop working? And of course, everyone says no. But if we don't show up to work, then, it's the whole thing is totally shut down. And I think that's the power of it. And I want to ask you, for people who might be Waffle House workers, service workers who are living in South Carolina, living in the South, what would you say to them if they're thinking about taking the step to organizing on the job?
Don't think about it. Just do it. Because if you think about it, you're just going to be thinking and thinking and thinking. Just do it. You will not regret it. That would be the best decision you will ever make on your job, is just standing up and fighting back against these corporations, because we are protected. As long as you have a union behind you, we are protected. Corporations can't do nothing about that. Just stand up and fight back for what we deserve.
And for those who are watching, I was just gonna say, I think it's always so important for those who are watching, who are inspired by this, who don't work at Waffle House, but want to help in some way, whether it's to sign a petition, I don't know, or just share information, go find information about what's taking place. Where would you direct our viewers to help in a supportive role?
We are on all social media platforms at Raise Up the South or USSW, and you can find us at ussw.org on your internet browser. And there's ways for you to sign up to be a community supporter, or if you want to join, want to get more information about the union because you want to join, you have other people who would like to join, there's an option on there for you to sign up, and an organizer will be back in touch with you to talk to you and have meetings with you about what's going on.
Right on. Naomi Harris, Waffle House server from Columbia, South Carolina, co-founding member of the Union of Southern Service Workers. Thank you so much for giving us some of your time here on the Freedom Side.
Thank y'all.